adult Mart. No, we saw Jesus. I saw Jesus is Alive a mile back.
Oh, I didn't see
A
that.
mile back.
A back a mile.
Jesus.
A back a mile.
And then that's the thing about driving through Ohio. It's, Jesus is alive. Hell is real.
Everybody knows that.
Sex is between a man and a woman or something like that. And then
And a
Adult
giant ass billboard that's just
Lions Den.
says Adult Mart.
Adulting. He doesn't like good driving. Well, you'll have to get up there and see what that Volvo is into. The Volvo.
He's a vulva. Nice vulva, man.
Oh my goodness. So we had
see that sign for impaired driving?
What'd you say?
It was a sign for impaired driving.
Oh yes. Does Diet Pepsi count?
Do you want to tell everybody how bad you are when you're distracted? Like
how bad I am. That's why I don't text and drive. I don't, I use cruise control. That helps. Yeah, but I cannot really, I can look to make sure I can safely change lanes. But
if your hand's on the top of the wheel, we're going all the way over.
But if I'm looking right, we're going right. Totally. I'm the passenger right now.
Which is actually, when you drive a motorcycle, you don't have to make turns. You don't ever make a hard turn because you just sort of look the way you want to go and press, and that's what happens. So, fun fact.
Something I never wanted to know.
Whatever. It could come in handy.
Something else Amanda and I found out about each other is that together we play a really long and hilariously bad game of pool.
I remember playing in bars under pressure, and I felt I was good. Like, I got more balls in the pocket than I did today. So I think that was the problem. We knew we were leaving, so we had to stay sober.
I said, I don't think you've moved that way in a while.
It's true. But how about that behind the back shot?
It worked.
Aces.
That's kind of how I bowl too. Like, I'll get a strike, and then the next time I bowl, it's a gutter ball. Or
right.
Maybe I'll knock down 2 pins. I have no consistency or skill in bar games.
No, I think what happens is we have shining moments of skill.
Shining.
Like, if I were to practice, this is enough to show me that I could have skill. And I do feel like golf is the same way. After I
can
warm up for a while.
Nonsense out of a golf ball.
Yeah, me too.
After whiffing about 3 or 4 times.
Okay, Ford, you don't even have that much energy in your car, but go ahead, pass me.
I think I'm pretty good at putt-putt. One time I was bowling in a mixed group of people.
Okay.
And having a lot of fun, not bowling well, and someone turned to me and said, I thought you'd be better at this.
that hurts.
It cut right to the core. I was like, okay, I do. I sometimes, at times in my life, I've given off the appearance of athletic. The truth is, I'm strong and
not good with ball sports.
Not good with ball sports. I was a swimmer. What do you want me to say? Sometimes I can throw a dart and it sticks.
Akron is the birthplace of the PBA. And Riviera Lanes has happened at times. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
The parking lot's so full that they're double parked all the way through it. And
Akron is the birthplace of the Professional Bowlers Association.
It is.
That's what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
Did I know this?
I think his name was Eddie Elias.
What?
Yeah, it's something I learned when I worked with Dad. Because I met his daughter, Rainey. You don't forget somebody named Rainey.
I have a student named Rainey.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
What's her last name?
I'm not gonna put her last name.
But it's not Elias.
No, it's not. That would be weird. You were talking about an adult, right?
Yeah, he's dead now.
That brought it down.
Rest in peace.
So we're driving back from our retreat, which is what we called it. But we didn't do anything retreatish, did we?
What do you mean? Write in notebooks and do goal setting?
Right.
No, we did not.
We actually didn't do anything.
Create
Well,
vision boards with torn out pieces of
we both read a
magazine.
book.
We did.
The same book. I read half of it on the toilet.
Because it was easy to do.
It's mostly a picture book.
Provides a good laugh.
Oh, yeah.
What would you have done if we had planned this to be a full retreat? What would you have done?
Well, I think there would have been a notebook involved. Maybe different colored pens.
For podcast ideas.
Podcast ideas.
Or marketing ideas.
Outlining.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Marketing. Instead, we watched, we started to watch a show we didn't really get into. And Sophia Vergara was the lead.
I think I would watch it again.
Okay.
Griselda is what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the lead actress. It took us a minute to recognize that it was her. Then we watched that classic from 1973, American Graffiti.
I would like to know if any of our listeners have watched that movie and can they explain it to us? If they watched it, like baby boomers and like somebody in that generation, if they watched it because they would have watched it closer to the 70s, did they understand it more than we did?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because it's supposed to be a classic coming of age kind of movie, right?
Yeah, I didn't get it. It felt like, to me, it was Happy Days, and
yeah,
it felt like Happy Days. It felt like Laverne and Shirley. So much so that I wondered if those shows were spin-offs from American Graffiti, and like,
that would probably just take a little Googling, which we haven't done.
Why should I wonder? Why should I wonder? I could just look it up.
Right.
But, awesome soundtrack, though. I want to listen to that music.
I did download it, but it's because not all those artists have released their music for digital that, it shows you. Speed check. There he is.
Looks like they're speed checking somebody else.
It shows you.
Highway Patrol.
What was it saying? Because now I
soundtrack showing you.
Oh yeah, it shows you the songs that you can use, but.
Are you sure it's not you and you don't have like a mistake in your account or something?
No.
So offended.
You're ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous. Yeah, so we were retreating for real. Probably something more than we did. But so we watched TV. We had I'm not sure what they're called really, but like tequila sunrise mimosas.
Yeah, they were tasty.
Although we had them in the evening. We had some soft food for dinner.
Tell our listeners why.
Well, I'm correcting and trying to re-straighten my teeth, and chewing is different, and got some braces on the bottom. They're kind of ripping up the inside of my mouth, and
does it make you feel like we're back in our teenage years?
No, because of the squeaky Velcro sound that happens when I go up and downstairs. I can't even do it.
No.
It's just a distinct
joint
sound.
noise.
But my knees don't really hurt. But it's the sound that says someday your knees are really gonna hurt.
It's the sound of degeneration.
It is the sound of age.
Why does every biatch think they should run up on us?
Get angry.
My mouth's a word stir.
Safe driving.
Bad women drivers.
So
Yeah, so we made ourselves dinner, and we
laid around. We slept in very comfortable beds. We
cut our trip short because of the impending weather.
Right.
We would have come back.
Flood watches, warnings, tornado watches, all the stuff.
Yeah.
It was just plain gloomy where we were, but not threatening weather.
Well, let's do our outline.
Let's do our outline.
Yeah.
For today.
No, I mean, like, how do we, since we're on a retreat, how do we move forward?
We don't have a notebook. Well, we're going to have a guest on our next podcast.
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
I think that what's going to be so cool about that is we are not talking to identical sisters, but we are talking to sisters. And, well, at least one of the sisters anyway, right?
Yeah, but she's not on the next one. It's the swim coach that's on our next one.
The swim coach was the one with the sister. Is that one and the same?
I'd have to check now.
Oh, no.
Well, anyway, it's a really interesting story.
Now that we've
No, actually, I found her because there's a swim coach's Facebook page, and
Oh, what?
you called me a dork.
No. What'd you say? Anyhow, swim coach's Facebook page.
You're the nerd. And she posted a blog that she did about her story involving cancer. Because I don't use the word journey ever.
Okay, can you tell me the name? Do you remember the name of her blog? I'd love to read it.
I don't know, because she just posted it and I followed the link and read it. So
you can share it with me later.
I can share it with you later,
Okay.
or anyone that may want to read it. It's a quick read. But I thought it was interesting, and I just thought, since it's something, similar to me,
You have similarities because
we have
both
similarities.
swim coaches.
Yes.
You have dealt with cancer.
Right.
And she lives somewhere.
She's on the West Coast. She's on Pacific time.
Pacific time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be new.
So I just reached out, and I think it's cool because
Exciting
it's
aboard.
This is the part where Nicole sings.
We're expecting you. I can't remember too much from high school, but music, it lives there.
It does.
Not that I'm musical.
I feel like you're discovering that later.
I don't know. I think I've always been this way. It just, never recorded myself before, so I didn't realize how often I did it.
It's like that person that's always quoting movies, except for you're always singing the songs from movies and shows.
I have a friend who has an extraordinary memory for random quotes from
Who's that?
movies from the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Soul.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never heard her do it.
Wow, she quotes these things. And she says, "Do you remember this scene from this movie?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. I only watched that once.
Now, if you want to ask me about
She's
scenes
watched
of Dirty
American Graffiti.
Dancing, I don't know.
Well, nobody puts baby in the corner. What do you think?
Well, you were earlier. You were horses. But what movie is that from? Do you remember?
That's Mac Ryan.
think it is Sleepless in Seattle because it was not.
It's like Christmas time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Horses. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head.
It's about time to re-wax my bracelets.
Oh. I think the audio on that would be really exciting.
It doesn't really have a sound, does it?
You know, we'll see. All right, so one of the questions I had for you was before we started recording was how do we...
I'm listening, Linda.
No, I'm stopping because we're right by Spire. Like, it's this huge athletic complex, but it has a beautiful pool. And we came up here like during my first season, like COVID-ish, because they split up the district meets to smaller meets. So they spread out along different pools. So we came up here.
For a district meet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's like nothing. There's a diner across the street. And they've built a little more up, you know,
It's in Geneva?
around it. Yeah. So it's a good haul.
Yeah.
So now I asked you about how we like get the word out about our podcast, and I think one of the things is, like I said, our guest is on the West Coast and she's completely out of our range. She's not someone we know, you know, like our Cancer Classmate series. So it's a completely different experience. Somebody that has a different background and just someone that can share a story, and I just think that's interesting. It's one of the things just to kind of expand our scope, and we talk a lot about ourselves and give our updates, but to share more of other people's stories because there's different experiences for everyone.
Yeah. You know, we haven't spoken to her yet, and I haven't seen her blog yet, but I'm willing to bet we have a lot in common.
Right. So, you know, I always have a lot to say about the medical system, and I think it would be interesting to find out in her area what she has. So,
right?
Yeah.
If she also found out that she had cancer from my chart, or not.
Right. Reading your doctor's result, or reading the results meant for your doctor to interpret for you before they've had a chance to read them themselves.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, nobody ever said to me, "You have cancer," because I knew first.
What, you just started asking questions about it then?
No, I mean, you know, because I knew first, and then we started talking logistics or next steps, or this is what treatment looks like, this is what treatment will do to you, this is what the prognosis is, all that kind of stuff. But about a year ago, when I last met with my radiation oncologist, and he said, you know, we don't see anything on your scan. I said, so I'm cancer free, and he said, well, we call it remission.
Yeah.
It took me like a whole 10 minutes. I know I talked about this before, like a whole 10 minutes to realize what he was saying. Because, like, I was like, oh, cancer free. Like, I guess I meant as far as I know, or as far as the scan can tell, or, you know, I just wanted to be excited, and I wanted to use those words.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, yeah, we call it remission. And then it's just, people are not very plain with it.
No.
It's not, you have cancer, here's what's going to happen next. It's you know, no cancer is showing up. I think the cancer doctors don't like to use the word cancer.
Probably not. I mean, nobody really wants to say it.
Yikes, what happened there?
I don't know. But
there's also a lot of deer carnage on the road. Did
a
you
lot.
notice?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Well, look at all this open land. I mean, they're just, to them, they're just crossing, you know, terrain, and then smack.
Right.
I'd hate to see what the cars look like, but people ask me that a lot, and
Ask you what?
about my status, like what's happening with my cancer. Um, and I have to use the word stable.
Right.
So and make that a positive. Stable, so that's positive.
Yeah, you don't have to make that a positive. It is a positive.
Well,
But I know it's like there's always a qualifier. Because
yeah,
I say I'm in remission, as far as I know.
right.
Like
You don't
always,
have
I
to say
can't.
that though.
Well, I know it's like almost like I can't stop myself from saying it.
Yeah,
It's, I'm in remission, as far as I know, because I can't fully.
that's like when
It's like I can't fully trust it, believe in it.
somebody says, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I have cancer." You know, you just let that hang out in the air.
Somebody you haven't spoken to in a while, or you just do that to anyone?
I don't do it to a lot of people, but sometimes I'm just in a mood, and that's, what comes out.
Is your armpit okay? What are you doing over there?
So my hand was cold.
You're warming up your hand.
Thanks for calling that out.
I still my hands and my armpits. I smell them like this.
I wish everyone
Mary
could,
Catherine Gallagher.
could see you right now.
Saturday Night Live. How's your hip feeling now that you're driving?
It's okay. My hamstrings are crampy. That's why I just shifted. I know that happens to other people.
Yeah, but just one hamstring is crampy. One leg.
Right now, it's
They're
my
both
left
crampy.
leg. Yeah. My right leg feels stable.
I am stable with cancer and hamstring.
But I think the left side, obviously, clearly compensates a lot, so it's tighter. And makes me thankful that I bought one of those. What are they called?
I don't know.
Therapy guns.
Oh, yes.
I didn't want to say massager because we already talked about vulvas, and I thought it's not a sex podcast, so
No, definitely not safe for PG listening.
But we're still supposed to be talking about the outlet. And you
We
just
didn't
keep
get very far.
you just keep getting distracted by your teeth.
It's true. I need to add more wax.
And that's what I meant was, why do you feel like a teenager? Because
Yes, because it's the exact same little wax container you used in when I was, what were we, 13? 12, 13?
not that young. I don't feel like we got it till like 14 because
No, because they came off sophomore, braces came off sophomore year. Or maybe the end of freshman year.
for you.
Yeah, when did your braces come off?
Well, I don't know. Now we have to look at our pictures. See
Think about, okay. Your Kermit the Frog picture was freshman year?
Excuse me? When have you ever said that before? Oh my gosh. Are you talking about my round glasses?
Yes. And your short
They were purple and red.
and your short spiky hair.
When people thought I was a boy.
That's not what people thought you were a boy.
I wore a jumpsuit in combat. Do you remember that thing? I feel like that was 7th grade.
A jumpsuit?
Yeah, I had a jumpsuit. Yeah.
I mean,
It's probably the last time I
what's your
ever
version
wore
of a
one.
jumpsuit? Because
It's like a one-piece thing.
like what color or material? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have memory of it.
I probably only ever wore it once.
Corduroy? Was it over?
No, I think it was, like twill.
Well,
Not quite denim, but twill.
color.
I don't remember. I feel like it was green, but that was 7th. That was 7th grade.
What is your freshman year?
You're right. I had braces in 7th grade.
What did your freshman year picture look like?
I actually don't remember.
Oh my goodness.
I
Do you
don't.
remember sophomore year? I remember. No. My freshman year picture I remember because I still had glasses, not contacts.
Yeah.
And I took my glasses off for the picture. And you know how when
Sophomore year, I had
You know how when you
perm,
take
shoulder length hair, and bangs. In the
And-
orange sweater with the big buttons.
blank teeth?
I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that out.
My freshman year picture, though, I think my braces were off, and so were my glasses. And
You had all the big hair.
I looked really strange because I took my glasses off, and I also remember that my face was just so greasy.
Because without fail, they always do picture day like after recess and lunch.
You have recess in the 9th grade.
Well, it's like midday, right? When you're
Yeah,
not
but we
fresh.
also just didn't wear makeup. We weren't wearing any makeup, right?
Well, not on our face. Like we had mascara and lipstick, I think.
I don't know that I was wearing mascara as a freshman. My memory's foggy, is what I'm telling you.
Very riveting conversation. Listening to us try and remember what we looked like in certain stages. But what I do remember, because I have a copy of it, is our senior photo.
Yeah, I know our senior photo, for sure.
It has all three of us in it.
And you have short hair.
Yeah.
But people were not calling you a boy then.
No.
Was that one time, were we at Wendy's or Burger King?
I don't.
You and me, we were walking into the bathroom together, and somebody stopped you and said the boys' bathroom is over there.
Yeah. I guess it has happened twice because it happened to me in a swim meet too. Like, they just told me the awards. I went for my awards at the awards table. She sent me over to the boys' table. I was like, "You can see my swimsuit, you idiot."
Yeah. You can see that full swimsuit.
Do you know the next time it happened to me though? It happened when I was still bald and I went to vote the last time.
Oh, yeah.
And this
We
woman,
talked about that on the cast.
called me he and like hesitated, and then she looked up and then she was like, "Oh, sorry." Yeah, I know.
Sorry, somehow I missed your very large breasts.
Right. And they're not boobs.
Nope.
But the weather's not bad, but it's just so gray. This weather is just so
That's why we're bringing joy on this great day.
right. What are you looking at? We're getting distracted.
I was just looking at a picture of Scarlett. I'm not getting distracted. She had a cute boner hair.
Okay, well, we'll look at it when we stop.
Have you seen that, like, bows are back? I mean, I don't think for our age, but I see on Instagram younger people.
Did
like,
bows
wearing
replace the millennial hat?
bow. Yeah, it's a millennial bow instead of a millennial hat.
Millennial hats were awful.
And maybe even a millennial hat with a bow.
Ugh,
Like a bogey.
that's all bad.
Yeah.
All bad. I mean, there's Pub Fredos on there. That's cool. The girl I used to work with at Athleta, she and her husband own it.
Oh, what?
Pub Fredo. I saw a sign for it on the roadside sign.
What is it?
It's a pub, gastro pub. They have good food.
Okay.
Yeah. So up here, and
No, I don't know. Where are we? Here we go.
East Cleveland, Northeast Cleveland.
Chardon, Painesville area.
Yeah. Towards the lake.
So, I was going to say in an ideal world, but that makes no sense. I mean, just reflecting on our casting in the last year or so. What episode do you think is most important? Most important is one question. Then most interesting for someone to hear. What's the most important for someone to hear, and then what's like most interesting for someone to hear?
I think the HPV episode, because
most important
because it has so much information and people are, because we talk about colonoscopies and like how it was discovered and how we didn't know, you know, like I think that speaks to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then we got the best response with our first episode. You know?
Well, I mean that's just like it's new and it's.
I feel like we need to listen to it again.
You and me.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what we were like back then.
It's been so long, yeah.
Well, I do think that one is not like that's high interest. I think probably because it's the nuts and bolts of our ridiculous story. This is our stories.
Yeah.
So that's probably true. I think I agree with you.
People really liked our nutrition episode.
Hey.
Hey.
It's good. Red and Rita just stopped talking, so.
Great. It's okay to have a little dog in the background.
It's okay to have a little dog, a little road noise. This podcast is all things.
That is true. It's a unique one for us.
Yes.
And we added a poll so it can ask our listeners what we want. You know, they can choose from a few topics that we put on there to kind of direct us in what they want to hear. Even though we have some new guests coming up and some exciting things, just picking up on our conversation from the car, you know, what is the most impactful episode?
All right.
So, going to get some listener feedback on that.
Yeah, I look forward to listener feedback.
Very cool.
You know, a little more formal than, hey, I listened to your podcast.
Right. Well, any final thoughts for our people?
No, we had so many thoughts. It's hard to sum it up.
I know.
And before my dogs start talking again, I think we say, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.